What is up, guys? My name's Joseph, and I'm a photographer and videographer.
My name is Gesha, and I'm a barista here in Halifax.
And together we thought we'd make some fun videos, talking and brewing some coffee and just chatting about our life. So, all right, so yeah, we are a couple. We've been dating for 2 years. She is now my fiance, which is awesome. I guess I'll be taking this one on the first episode because I do YouTube videos a little bit more. So yeah, this is just going to be a fun video, again, where we talk and brew some coffee. The main subject is the coffee, but we'd also like to chat about our lives and, you know, get in some personal chats, something like that. So yeah, you got to ask me how my morning's been.
We've been together all morning, but how has it been?
No, we haven't. I woke up at 5.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I had a great morning this morning. I woke up at 5 o'clock to do a short film out there in one of the coastlines of Nova Scotia. You know, just a fun little film. Me and 2 of my buddies got up early in the morning, caught the sunrise, and got a couple great shots and some photos. And then we went to a cafe. And would you like to talk about the cafe?
Yeah, I went to Bliss Caffeine Bar, which is like a brunch spot with a cafe. Yeah, had some avocado toast, had a sandwich, had a coffee, had a Caesar, and I got to see an old coworker of mine, which was really nice. Yeah. Yeah,
it was a good time. My sandwich is awesome. And the coffee there was great too. All right, so we're going to be talking about coffee, and you're the coffee expert here. So what would you like to talk about coffee?
So I'm not really a coffee expert. I just worked in coffee for a long time and I really enjoy coffee. I started as a barista working when I was in university, more out of necessity than the actual love of coffee at the time. And then it wasn't until like the 7th year that I started to really enjoy coffee for like what coffee is versus the social aspect of it, which I still obviously enjoy. So I did that, and then I managed a little tiny bit, and then actually left coffee for a year, and then I'm back in coffee again and baristaing again. Yeah, I enjoy coffee a lot. There's a lot of different spots that I like. There's a lot of different coffees that I like to take home and brew. I kind of just like experimenting. I like to try different coffees. I like to try more experimental coffees, and I also like coffees that are more well-rounded and sort of more palatable to most people. I like it all, basically, is what I'm saying. I like everything. It's cool to try different coffees. That's my main thing. I like the experience of trying new coffees with new people or the same person.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree, actually, because I was always a dark roast drinker. I started at Tim Hortons, double doubles on the construction site. And then I moved to Halifax. And Nova Scotia, I guess Halifax has a lot of different styles of coffee, which, yes, we have back in Toronto, but it's just harder to find so much amazing cafes so close by. It's just they're everywhere here, and they're all super unique. That's what makes them so different. As for, again, Toronto, there's a Tim Hortons on every block. That's your main necessity place to go.
I mean, same thing here, but there are more specialty coffee.
Yeah, way more. We got that one Tim's on Bayers, and maybe one more, I don't know, somewhere in Halifax, and those are 2 Tim Hortons. That's it. We got one at the waterfront, one on Bayers there, and realistically,
well, there's another one just down the street on the corner.
That's on Bayers.
Mainly,
yeah. So we got Bayers and waterfront. That's again, Toronto. It's true. Like every 5 minutes you pass one, so it's a lot easier to get Tim Hortons there.
Right. Well, I'm from the Valley, and we have them on every corner there, so that's what I'm used to.
So yeah, the coffee here is super unique, which is amazing because I've even tried a lot of new coffees, and dating a barista, I've had even a lot more different coffees. The Ethiopian one is super different to me. The taste of it, the fruitiness of it.
Which
I guess.
One? Was it a while ago?
It was from the Just Us brand, Ethiopian, I think it was.
Just Us brand coffee. Just Us Coffee Roasters has a Ethiopian coffee.
And
it's really nice.
Very different when I first had it.
Citrus.
Didn't know how I felt. It was not dark roast, but...
And that's why it's so different. Yeah. Because it's light. Yeah.
But I've come around to it. And I'm starting to learn about how light roast is more of a form of coffee than a dark roast because, the chemicals aren't being burnt or something like that? Mike was actually saying that this morning too to me.
I'm not sure. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what you're referring to. I mean, the taste, like the profile, like the taste of it.
Isn't dark roast not a real form of coffee, they say, because it's like the beans are being burnt.
No, I mean, all forms of coffee are forms of coffee. It's one of those things where everything works, but, you know, the real coffee snob people could say, you know, arguably that the coffee is worse when it's darker because you're overcooking the beans, which then translates to you're losing the intrinsic value of the bean because you're just burning it. But that's
exactly what I was
But it isn't always
thinking
the
of.
case. It isn't always the case. There are coffee companies that are, you know, trying to push the barrier with darker roast coffees and not just burn their beans and like trying to actually reach a certain profile and do the bean justice, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that does track, but it's changing and it is getting better.
Yeah, because I love dark roast. But again, I've been trying these light roasts now, and I'm starting to like light roast coffee a lot more. Yeah, and I'm starting to like the taste and what you guys call the profile.
It's just nice to appreciate different coffees versus always drinking dark roast. Same as me always drinking light roast. Like, I'm trying to drink dark roast more, mostly because the place I work, they do brew more dark roast, and I'm actually really enjoying it, which I wasn't sure I would, but
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it can be done well.
All right, so yeah, those are kind of coffees. I'm, I guess, more of a dark roast lover, starting to like light roast more, and I'm guessing you like light roast. You
Yeah,
like light roast coffee more or less.
Medium.
Yeah. And then yeah, so we're gonna be brewing a coffee today. And how are we going to be brewing this coffee? Because again, this is all new to me too. I'm a French press guy. I just grind my beans. I don't know how the hell I even grind them, on what number, whatever. It's just however the package comes to me from Walmart with the grinder on. That's the setting I use.
Yes.
Grind the beans, throw them in the French press, hot water, 5 minutes, and then that's it. It's good to go. But how are we going to be making this coffee?
So today we're doing V60, which I actually haven't done a V60 in a good while, like probably more than 6 months, maybe close to a year. But yeah, we're gonna do V60 method. So do you want me to just get started brewing it?
Start brewing it and talk about how you brew it. So people might not be watching the video, they can listen to this on podcast.
I'll have to go put the kettle on the burner to get it started. So give me 1 second. I just have to get the temperature up to a certain level. It needs to be, for this recipe that I'm doing, it needs to be at like 92 degrees I'm doing. Okay, water is up to 92 degrees now. I'm just gonna pre-soak this filter. So I guess just to start pre-soaking the filter is just to get the the papery taste of the filter out of the way, so you don't have that in your coffee. Probably overdoing it with the soaking, but better safe than sorry. It also helps with preheating everything, like the vessel itself that you're serving into, as well as the brewing device. Just dump that out. And I've got my coffee weighed out to 18 grams, and I'm using the Time War Chestnut C3. I currently have it on setting, I think 16.
The coffee grinder. We're just grinding the coffee if you're not watching this on YouTube. And it's a handheld grinder, so you're just actually turning it and grinding it.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. I've never seen one of those till you brought one in the house. I was like, oh, pretty cool grinder.
They're like slightly a pain because you're obviously you're manually grinding it, and if you do it enough, it's kind of exhausting. But it's kind of nice to have the the routine of doing this when you're brewing coffee. You're grinding the coffee yourself. You're pouring it yourself. It's sort of meditative, I guess, for a lot of people. So I'm just gonna put in 18 grams. I put in a little bit more than 18 in my grinder because sometimes some of it gets lost in the grinder. Oh, perfect. Okay, and then I'm gonna settle my grinds real quick. And starting my timer.
So when I first saw coffee being made like this, I thought, wow, what a process just to make a cup of coffee. But once you actually have it, once you taste it, it's a lot better than a quick French press, trust me.
The coffee that I'm using right now, by the way, is Koji Gesha. It's one from Epoch Chemistry. They're based out of Moncton, New Brunswick. And honestly, the coffee's a little bit old. I've had this coffee for a while now. I just kind of want to use it up. It is a good coffee, but it's more experimental. I should be pouring really slow for this recipe. But yeah, the coffee itself's a little more on the experimental side, which I like, but you know, I don't want to drink those like necessarily like every single day. So I just haven't gone through the bag. So this one's an inoculated anaerobic process, hence the name Koji.
Smells so good.
It's hard to...
I love the smell of coffee.
It does smell good. It smells different though.
Especially in the morning.
Like it definitely...
Well, I got that candle.
Yeah, the candle's right there.
It's like, that doesn't smell like coffee.
What am I supposed to pour to? Okay.
So what do you like pouring? Like, what are the times? What
Yeah,
are the grams here?
to be honest, I already messed up the recipe because I was getting distracted and I just looked over at my recipe sheet. I put in too much water, but that's okay. We're gonna just let it go through. We'll taste the coffee anyway. We'll still get the taste of the coffee. It's just, it's not gonna be, it's gonna be a little diluted, but that's okay. It might be a little
So what is the times and the
overextracted.
grams and stuff? Like, what times did you have? What grams did you have?
Yeah, so every recipe's way different. This is just an old recipe I had from an old coworker that I used to work with. She has a really great recipe, actually. It's when I've used it before, it's been like really versatile. Works with like any coffee. So I figured I'd go with that since I haven't done it in a while. I forget what my recipes are, but I just had hers kicking around. But this one was so I had 18 grams in. It's supposed to be 200 grams out, but we're looking at, wait, let me put this back on. Yeah, we're looking at closer to 300, more on the upside of things, but that's okay. So I had 45 gram water input for the bloom at 30 seconds, and then I just poured I was supposed to do a slow pour the rest of the water all the way through, and I did do that, but I just got distracted and was like continuously slow pouring. So my pour was perfect, but I kept going with it. Anyway, that's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. We're just, you know, casually
Testing
having
some coffee.
We're just tasting it. I'm just trying to make sure it's even. We've got these cute little mugs that I got when I left. Was it when I left? It was either a parting gift or it was a 9-year gift. I think it was a parting gift from when I worked at Just Us Coffee Roasters. These cute little bunny mugs. They're pink.
It smells really good.
Anyway, here we go. Is it hot?
Yeah, see, I like it. Like back in the, just what, 3-4 months ago when I had a cup of coffee like this, I was like, ew. Like it doesn't, this is a
Which is
weird
fair.
tasting coffee. It's fruity and it's, just, it has a distinct taste to it, not like a dark roast coffee. A lot different. But again, once you start acquiring a taste for it, once you start drinking a little bit more here, a little bit more there, you start really enjoying it. Like
Yeah, I find light roast coffees are good black, and like you drink your coffee with things in it, and you can obviously have a light roast coffee black too. Or sorry, you can have a dark roast coffee black too. But with the light roast, if you put things in them because they're light, it gets lost in translation.
Yeah,
and you start
I agree.
losing that coffee taste. Like I don't know, it gets lost in the sauce.
A dark roast I can't drink without anything. Like with a dark roast, how I take it is a little bit of coconut milk, believe it or not, and some maple syrup.
Coconut milk's actually really good.
Yeah, stuck away from dairy, and I love oat milk. It's just that coconut milk, I don't know, just prefer a little bit more for my coffee. And
but it definitely changes the taste of the coffee a lot because
Yeah.
it is such a intense flavor. It is it's coconut, so it's going to make your coffee taste like coconut.
Yeah.
Versus having it like this.
This
You're
is really
just-
good. I could just drink this like this. I could, like, I would add maybe a little bit of maple syrup because I'm just like, I love sweet. But I could just drink this cup of coffee like this. If you gave me a dark roast, I couldn't just drink a dark roast like as is. I would need to
You could.
hype it up a bit.
You've definitely done it before. I've seen
It's
you.
strong though, like it's really strong. And it's, I don't know, it actually like gives me a bit of a stomach ache.
I would argue that I could make a pour over of a dark roast and you could drink it black and really enjoy it.
Yeah,
It would
try
taste
it.
more like this. It would just, instead of those like bright notes, it would have a more roasty profile, but it would still be light in the sense of it would be, I don't say diluted, but it wouldn't be like espresso. You're used to drinking black, dark espresso
Yeah.
and going, ooh, that's a lot. But
That's how my no
it's-
did it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually really nice. I'm surprised because this is, swear, this is like 3-4 months old. This is quite old.
This is a pretty good coffee.
And usually when your coffee's older, like some of them age really well. Some coffees age super well. It's crazy. But this one I've just had kicking around in the cupboard. It hasn't even been in the freezer or anything. I mean, I did grind it fresh and stuff, but yeah, it's actually holding up. It's normally they get like the taste kind of like deteriorates. It just, it's not really a pronounced flavors, but this one is good. It's supposed to be, what is it? Pineapple, lemon, peach, jasmine, lemongrass. Pineapple, sure, I still get that. Yeah, it's fun to look at the notes and compare what you're tasting. It's also fun to do it before you look at the notes.
I'm very amateur, so I don't get none of those notes, but
It'd be cool to look at it beforehand, taste it, try to figure out what the notes are, and then look at the notes and like compare, because then you're like really testing yourself.
I just get like, I don't know, it's like something that I've never really smelt or tasted before. It's just very unique smell and taste. That's what I get from it. I don't get none of those notes, but
Yeah,
I could
that's
see
fair.
how like you could mash those notes up together and get like, I'm getting like sweet.
You have to
That's
like
a-
look for it. Yeah, and it
that's what-
definitely is sweet.
And it definitely is sweet from, again, those pineapple and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's funny, you have to like look for the notes. Like you don't taste it and go, oh my gosh, it's there. But some coffees you taste it. Like I've had a few coffees that you drink it and it's literally bergamot in your mouth. And it's crazy because that's like Earl Grey tea has bergamot.
Yeah.
So it tastes just like Earl Grey tea in a way. Those coffees always like shake me to my core because I'm like, holy, that's crazy. I don't know. I love those ones.
Yeah, I'm starting to like these coffees a lot more. So wait, what was the brewing method again that we used today? Pour over?
Yeah, it's a pour over. Pour over is kind of a range of different methods, or it's a method, but they range in different brew apparatuses, we'll say. But the V60 is one of the forms of pour over. And it's in this triangular cup-shaped guy. I just use the plastic one because I'm cheap, but also because I've used ceramic before and they're great for like heating up and stuff, but they cool down fairly easily. And also like they break obviously super easy, and I want one forever. And this was like this with the server, they came together in a pack and it was like $13, I think.
Nice.
Which is
not bad.
crazy. $13
Yeah.
for a brewing device and a server. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Wow.
It was
Crazy.
a deal. It was a deal. So I took it. And now I have it forever. Yeah.
Not bad. And then one more time, go through that recipe of yours in case somebody wants to write it down or something.
Oh gosh.
I know we made a few mistakes
I
today,
botched
but
it.
if you didn't botch it, how would the recipe go though?
So shout out to Katie Turner who created this recipe. You actually know Katie. You worked with her too
Yep,
in a different
amazing
location.
person.
Yeah, she's really great with coffee. She always knows her stuff. Makes a great cup of coffee wherever I go. So I did 18 grams in, and then you're supposed to do 200 grams out, but I ended up doing like just shy of 300. But actually, again, it worked out really well for this specific coffee. But you always want to adjust a little bit depending on your coffee. So 18 grams in, I ground mine at like a medium, not medium coarse, but like at the more coarse end of the medium range. I guess that is medium coarse. I ground it at medium. On the Chestnut C3, it was 16. And so I did a 45 gram bloom at 30 seconds, of course. And then you just pour the rest of it really slowly. You just want to do one continuous pour. Yeah. That's basically it. And then you're supposed to do a bypass. And bypass just refers to once your coffee's done brewing, once you've done that long one pour or what have you, you take your coffee off and then you just weigh out how much coffee you're adding in after, and you're just bypassing the whole brewing process and adding straight water to your cup. Because otherwise, if you don't, it's going to be too strong. So the idea is you're diluting it a little bit because you made sort of a concentrate.
What a process.
And I didn't
coffee.
I didn't do a bypass because I added too much water anyway. And I thought it would be way over extracted, but it was really good.
Sometimes
I'm
I think,
super happy with
yeah, no, this turned out really good. Sometimes I think filming is a process, but it's crazy how coffee can be such a process. But you really do get results from it. Like, again, French press compared to this, not even
Well,
close.
I mean, the problem is with your there's nothing wrong with French press. It's just that
it's always different.
It's inconsistent.
It's true.
But mostly the way you do it, because you just
Very inconsistent.
You use, and mind you, I bought it, so it's my fault. But we use a Walmart brand coffee grinder that's automatic. It's electric. You just hit a button, it goes, and you look at the grinds and you can see the inconsistencies in the grinds. So you're kind of getting inconsistent grinds. You're also just adding a sort of subjective amount of coffee every time. You just like eyeball it. You need to be doing like by weight. That's why people do it by weight.
It does make all the difference.
That's why. It's just because you want consistent. If you don't do consistent, you use the same coffee every day, same coffee maker.
Yeah, sometimes it's watery,
same grinder,
sometimes it's super strong,
and it's
sometimes
still different.
it's good, sometimes it's bad.
And
most
that's
of the time
exactly
bad.
why. Yeah. So
yeah.
it's interesting. People say like, oh, you take it too seriously. Like sometimes customers will say that when they see me weighing it out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honestly, no. Like I get so excited for that cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
And I want it to be good. So in the morning, if I don't do that process, it's going to be bad and I'm going to be disappointed.
I know. It sucks when you get a bad cup of coffee.
It does suck.
Sucks.
Yeah.
If you like coffee and you want a good coffee in the morning and you get a bad one, it's not a good feeling.
Highly disappointing.
Yeah, it's highly disappointing. Yeah. So that's our coffee little spiel for the day. Yeah. What are you up to now? Like, what do you got planned? I know I got Mike and Alex coming by. We're going to hang out, do some editing and stuff.
Honestly, I was going to play Animal Crossing.
Nice, nice.
I'm remaking my town.
Nice.
From scratch. So.
Yeah, I might hop online later too with Roof and the gang. Downloaded a new
Apex?
game.
Oh.
Nope, Back for Blood. Gonna try that out since the Starfield universe is collapsing. It's kind of over.
Why?
I don't know. The game just it lifted off. It was pretty good playthrough. Kind of got boring now and.
For you or for?
No, we all deleted it. Yeah, and it's like a massive game.
We as in all your friends.
Yeah. It's a massive game. And there's no online, so we don't play together. We just kind of like party chat and talk.
Lots of story to go
through? Massive story and lots to do. It's just that there's no new villains or anything. It's the same types of creatures, even on different planets, which kind of gets annoying.
You think they'd have like a randomizer somehow? I mean,
a lot of the planets are emptier than we thought they'd be.
Like they're mainly for mining resources or something?
Yeah, a lot of just walking around, empty planets. It's a big game. It's crazy though because maybe they could have had less planets and more on the planets. That would have been, I think, a lot better.
Yeah, you see where their focus was.
Yeah, exactly. The exploration is great, but most of the exploration is you're not actually going to be flying ships planet to planet. It'll take you 6 to 7 hours. Somebody did it. So yeah, it's like you're gonna be doing the quick time jump. So I don't know, just for how big it was, we just kind of shelved that game. It's free on Game Pass, so can download it whenever we want again. And I'll still have all my saved data, which is a blast. But yeah, I'm trying some new games out. So yeah, gonna be doing some editing and playing some video games on a Sunday. Can't go wrong with that.
Well, I'll see you around the house.
yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. We're going to end this here, and we'll be back next week with another episode, new way to brew coffee, and some new chats. And a new coffee, yeah. New whole brew, yeah. All right. See ya.